So I've seen the Backrooms movie, and honestly, what the hell was that?
Quest for horror. Step inside, where the screams and secrets hide.
Welcome back to Quest for Horror. I'm Paul, and if it's sharp horror opinions with zero bullshit you're after, then you've come to the right place. If you're new here, welcome to Quest for Horror community. Hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. So here's where my head was at before going into the Backrooms. I watched the initial teaser trailer and it didn't really sell me at all. But I actually then played some of the Backrooms games in both flat screen and VR, which I really enjoyed. I thought they were really effective. And I also checked out a few of the web series on YouTube, which I also really enjoyed. I then got to see the second trailer, and then because of the exposure I had with the Backrooms, didn't know too much about the whole lore behind it. But I was intrigued, so I decided to check this film out on Friday night, and here are my thoughts. So starting off with the positives of the Backrooms, the best thing I can say about this film is the set designs are absolutely impeccable. You've got the usual scene with the yellow wallpaper and that sort of yellow tint. You also get the other rooms like the pool rooms and stuff like that, and the fact that these were sets that were built. And honestly, I would love to see a documentary of how they managed to do that, because I don't know what kind of space they had, like some kind of big office space or big warehouse, but what they managed to achieve, I thought was absolutely brilliant. This film does utilise found footage, and if you're a fan of the web series and the games, you know that's also part of that. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of that subgenre, I think what Kane Parsons did with this film is really well done in terms of the found footage. The opening sequence I thought was absolutely brilliant. There's some other sequences during the film that I thought really ratchet up the tension, and you get a bare glimpse of some of the entities that are in it, and I thought it was really well done and really creepy. And now moving into the negatives, and yeah, honestly, put it out there, this film did not really do it for me at all. The acting, I've seen a lot of people say the acting, they think this is really good. Honestly, I thought it was pretty mediocre, especially when we get to the third act. It just seemed very cheesy and very corny to me, and just didn't land for me whatsoever. And even though over on I was talking about the found footage element and how I thought it was done very well in this film, what I didn't like is that, yes, it didn't show us too many of the entities. It gives us a little glimpse, but I want to see more. But there is an entity that comes later on in the film, which actually, given the story of the film, it thematically makes sense, but the execution of it I thought was just really goofy. And some of the actual other entities we do actually end up seeing, I thought the CGI was just really bad. But the most annoying thing about this film is, honestly, I was really bored. There were moments towards the middle and definitely the third act where I felt myself nodding off. Wasn't because I was tired, it literally, the film, I just found it completely boring. And one thing I've learned is that since I watched the film and I put a few of my comments on social media, on TikTok or YouTube, I've experienced some of the Backrooms fanboys, and I have to say it's one of the most toxic fan bases I've ever come across. They don't seem to like a difference of opinion if you're not into the Backrooms or you don't like this film. Kane Parsons has directed the Backrooms, and of course he created the Backrooms, and of course we had some great influx of YouTubers turned horror filmmakers like Michael and Danny Philippou, and obviously most recently Curry Barker. And there are signs there that Kane Parsons can be a really good filmmaker in future, has a really good film in him. But for me, the Backrooms just wasn't it. Just really boring and didn't land for me, and that's why I'm giving the Backrooms a 2 out of 5. Well, there's my review of the Backrooms. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments what you thought of the film. But as always, guys, keep it spoiler free. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.